Hello, hello. It is day 120 of 365 days of my raw suspending disbelief journey. Um, it is August 20th, 2024, and today was such a weird mix. I was feeling a lot better emotionally and just sort of ready to seize the day again. I was back to working with clients, and my hosting platform, my sort of all in one for my website, my CRM, all of it, suddenly decided to turn off my email sending capability. So I have a lot of automations that run, if somebody books a call, an email sends out. If somebody um, purchases something, an email sends out, right? A receipt and usually like a login link if they need to be able to log in onto my um, customer dashboard, or things like this on top of regular email sending. So um, I'm not super active with sending emails. I am working on that, but the fact that the automated ones were being blocked was a huge problem today. So, what happened was the platform that I'm with, which is ClickSlow, which is a white labeled version of Go High Level, um, had sold lifetime packages, a one-time price of like $97 for an all-in-one. And at first I was really wary and thinking like, oh, it's a little too good to be true. Like I grabbed it, but I sort of left it as like I was exploring, I was seeing, like, is this for sure going to be okay? Like, because that seemed, again, too good to be true, but it included some email, it included, all of this stuff. And all of a sudden they decided, and it was not just me. I was in the community forum and other people were saying the same thing. So anyone who had gotten that lifetime price all of a sudden was getting this, um, you're no longer allowed to send emails because you need to pay for emails. And they had a pay as you go plan for some people. They had some people who weren't paying at all. And then they were now instituting this $97 a month email sending thing. And they were demanding that everybody sign up for this $97 a month thing. Now, for a $97 one-time payment to suddenly turn into a $97 a month thing, like that is a big stretch. There are a lot of emailers that don't cost that much a month. So for small businesses, for it to be like the only option seems absolutely ridiculous. Um, but also just the no notice, right? They didn't communicate at all. They didn't send out an email saying like, "Hey, we're going to be instituting this. It's not reasonable for us to continue to pay for every email for you guys that are on these lifetime plans. We need you to sign up for this. You have this much time." That would have worked. I would have understood. I may not have decided to go with them for email, or I may have just because it is super convenient to have it all in one place. And because I'm not paying for anything monthly anymore, I may have done it. But it was done in such a shady way. It was just like, boom, cut off, no notice. I didn't even know that my emails weren't sending until people were signing up for stuff and going like, "Hey, I never got an email about this. Is there a reason for, and then I looked into it and was like, why aren't my emails sending? And then I went to the help forum to try to be like, hey guys, does anyone know what's going on? And I saw all these other things, and people who had this happening and who had reached out to support. And support with the lifetime packages is very minimal in the first place. So like you send an email and you wait for them to get back to you whenever. Like it was a little bit unreliable in that way. I was okay with that because I only paid a one-time payment, right? But it was super frustrating. And everybody was going, okay, now they're responding to these emails saying that we have to pay $97 a month for this unlimited plan instead of this lifetime plan. And they've like, the fact that they changed it so suddenly doesn't make it very reliable that they're not going to change it again in future. And um, for me, because I had never had to put a card on file because I just paid a one-time lifetime payment, they literally just were like, you can't do anything. So I complained. Obviously, I was like, you guys have to give people notice for stuff like this. This isn't okay. Like, our businesses are running off of this and, whatever, all this stuff. Enough people complaining, I guess maybe they decided to turn emails back on and just give us, like, say that we need to go onto a plan. Um, and I sort of am like, okay, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with that. But finally, like, towards the end of the day, they finally turned emails back on. I think they may have been off for a couple of days before I realized, before people started being like, "Hey, I didn't get an email about the sign up for this," or, whatever. So that was super frustrating. And they seem to be working at this point, and I'm gonna have to go in and manually push through all the ones that didn't send while it was off, which is um, a little hard to figure out because it's like all sorts of different people, all sorts of different signups, whatever. So trying to figure out where all those emails are and everything is going to be probably a bit of a nightmare. Um, but yeah, it was just sort of like this weird shift into like, oh, okay, I'm active and ready to go on my business and things are moving and I'm serving clients and what the heck is happening on the back end? And it just sort of imploded. And um so it was, yeah, it was really interesting, like feeling that electrons and neutrons feeling again, right? Or protons feeling, like it's very much just this feeling of like the good and the bad sort of all at once, and all of it being okay but also being frustrating, some parts of it, right? And I definitely am proud of myself for the ability that I've developed to just handle these things as they come and really sort of stay in flow and not get completely sidetracked by it. Um, but yeah, it was definitely an interesting shift. um, so yeah, that is, I mean, really, beyond, like, I really think that the biggest lesson to be taken away from all of this is just that openness to allowing those electrons to pass on and therefore be able to receive the positive that's coming in sort of in the middle. So, um, looking at it from that perspective, and hopefully that is helpful for some of you. And I will talk to you all very soon.